I think every farmer rancher has to be a little bit of an eternal optimist and probably a little bit of a gambler too, because there's so many things outside of our control.
When I came back about 5 years ago to the farm, we really started diving into some different kind of crazy thoughts and ideas. I've always been someone that's wanting to try something new, and so I didn't want to do things the same way that my dad did it. We farm along the Arkansas River, southeast Colorado, and our operation is over 1,000 acres, and majority of our crops are row crops and then forage crops as well. We've been farming this ground since the early 1900s. I would say our operation has been in a drought probably since the early 2000s. We've been able to kind of make it, but we've had to decrease our acres because we're not able to irrigate as much and then change our crops as well. The transition period to going into better practices can be difficult, expensive, and take time as well. You know, it's not something that you can just jump straight in the no-till in this area. The ground is just too hard to actually get the drill or planter into the ground. By having that transition period, that is really beneficial, and that's why we started off with strip till to try to increase our organic matter. The cover crops is another thing that's a transition because you can try cover crops, but you don't know if they're gonna survive in your location, what kind of cover crops work. So it might be a 2-3 year experiment before you find the right cover crop that actually is beneficial and works and grows in your area. During the rainy season, it doesn't come nice and easy. It comes fast usually. And so if your infiltration rate isn't very good, a lot of that rainfall actually will run off, never being captured by the farmer. So by increasing our infiltration rate by cover crops, by minimal till, we're able to take in most of that moisture and actually get that rain. Over the last probably 15 years, we've been upgrading to center pivots to make things a lot more efficient for us and easier for irrigation as well. With the NRCS, we've been able to do a cost share program to put up center pivots, and that has been tremendous for us because of the expense of pivots right now. So there's a lot of great information out there, but you can at least get an idea of something that works and try it small in your operation. If we had a major drought, it'd be hard to say how many true years we could make it, but I know that our operation would do a lot better than what it was back in the 2000s by the changes that we have implemented.
Each operation, each environment is contextually complex, and where some things are gonna work on one situation, it's gonna be different in others. I'm the owner-operator of Gleason Bison, which is a holistically managed grass-fed bison operation located here in Southwest Colorado. I do what's called holistic planned grazing, and so holistic planned grazing is a decision-making process that I do on paper, so a grazing chart, where I plan out, look at the pastures, look at calving season, look at elk running, look at water sources or log jams, and I plan out where the animals are going to graze when. And the goal of that is to get the animals in the right place at the right time with the right behavior to hopefully get the results that I want. There's a lot of reasons why I choose to practice holistic management, but a large one is for drought resilience. I want how I use the animals as a tool on this piece of property to create healthy soils and healthy root systems that can capture as much water as possible when it does come. You can't manage what you don't measure, meaning like how can you possibly make decisions if you don't have any sort of data or monitoring happening. And I take the data through a methodology called ecological outcome verification to learn what is working and what is not, and actually make the measurements to be able to adjust for the future. I can say with empirical data that my land is improving due to how I'm managing the livestock. But as our grandmothers used to say, the highway to hell is paved with good intentions. So we need more than good intentions. We need data. We need to actually be making sure that these practices and programs that are forming are having the impact and the results that we want. And then be okay with saying they're not. Let's evolve. What farmer rancher is going to take a major risk to change the way they're managing when their family's livelihood is on the line? What if it gets worse before it gets better and they lose money that first year? They need to have the support to do the right thing. Labor support, financial support that de-risks that. Partnerships so that they know that they're going to be supported through that transition is vital. We need to change course. We need to learn. We need to adapt. That's what nature does. Nature adapts, and we need to do the same.